First of all, Madam President, I'd like to thank my colleague from Hawaii for her remarks just now and from her commitment to a more equal, more just United States of America. I rise tonight to join my colleagues in mourning the loss of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Justice Ginsburg was a brilliant jurist and a persistent patriot. Her belief in our country and her vision and imagination as a lawyer left our nation stronger and more just. As a litigator, she fought and she won fights for women's equality. And on the court, she was a powerful voice for justice, whether in the majority or in dissent. Throughout her career and through the final days of her life, she was a powerful voice calling for every American to be recognized equally and to be treated with dignity, regardless of gender or personal circumstances. And the progress and inclusion that she helped build throughout her life is a testament to both her tenacity and her unmatched legal mind. It's also an illustration of what is possible in our country when we reaffirm and stay true to our values. Justice Ginsburg's vision of what it means to be an American and what it means to be free changed lives. She helped move our country toward a more perfect union, and we have to continue her unfinished work. Madam President, like many of my colleagues, I stopped by the Supreme Court over the weekend. It was incredible to see the outpouring of sheer reverence and to see the number of people who came on foot, on bicycle, in cars to pay their respects. I overheard one mom explain to her children that, quote, a lot of people loved her, close quote. And then a couple of seconds later, she added to the children, quote, and I want you to understand how important she was to our country. I hope that we all take the time to think about the meaning of Justice Ginsburg's life and what this loss means for our country. Madam President, honoring the legacy of Ruth Bader Ginsburg means continuing to fight for the more equal America that she fought for throughout her entire career. Unfortunately, though, in a week in which America has reached a terrible milestone of 200,000 COVID-19 deaths, the Senate Majority Leader and Senate Republicans have made their priorities clear. Instead of working with Democrats to pass the comprehensive COVID-19 relief bill that the American people so badly need, my colleagues across the aisle are focused on using all of the Senate's time before the election to rush through the president's choice for a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court. And they are doing so in contradiction of the rules that they themselves invented in 2016, despite the fact that this election is not just imminent, it's already underway with voters casting their ballots in states across the country. Our society and our democracy rely on the idea that all sides of political debates will play by the same rules. That means when any faction loses, it does so knowing that it'll have a fair chance in the next round. When that understanding is disrupted, it destabilizes our democracy, leaving people feeling disenfranchised. It's wrong, and it produces chaos and confusion. And it demonstrates a dangerous trend. My Republican colleagues are making clear that they do not think the rules apply to them. It is worth taking a closer look at exactly why they're violating the rules that they set for themselves and applied to President Obama's nominee just 4 years ago, and what the impact of their backward priorities will be for the American people. Right now, the Trump administration's lawsuit to repeal the entire Affordable Care Act and its protections for people with pre-existing conditions is pending before the Supreme Court, and as you have heard from my colleagues, scheduled to be argued after the election. Make no mistake, rushing through this nomination is a last-ditch effort to repeal the Affordable Care Act through the courts after failing to do so legislatively for years. Even worse, the Republicans would undermine health care in the midst of a devastating pandemic just when it is needed most. And invalidating the ACA will also mean that those who survive COVID-19 and as a result will have pre-existing conditions for the rest of their lives will no longer be protected by the ACA when they seek insurance coverage. And taking away health care from millions of Americans is just one of the many things at stake. Women's rights, voting rights, civil rights, workers' rights, so much of what Justice Ginsburg stood for, they're all at risk. Senate Republicans are not just intent on filling this Supreme Court seat, they are intent on filling this seat with a person who will strip away some, if not all, of these rights. Madam President, the stakes could not be higher, and the priorities of the American people are clear. We should follow the rules that the Republicans created in 2016. We should focus on COVID-19 relief, and we should not confirm a nominee until after the next president is inaugurated. Ruth Bader Ginsburg believed in an America where equality would win out, where everyone played by the same rules, in liberty and justice. In fact, in liberty ensured by justice. It would be a good thing if all of my colleagues who have the privilege of serving in this chamber would reflect on that, to honor the giant we just lost. Godspeed, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you. I yield the floor.